Welcome everybody to my WWE 12 universe, and as you can see, it is time for the pay-per-view. It is time for Vengeance. Now I know technically Vengeance was never held in May, but I figured, you know what, I don't want to use Over the Limit. Over the Limit just doesn't do anything for me, so you changed it to Vengeance, and a lot of this card you're gonna have to change apart from that match, but the rest of it we're definitely gonna have to change as the game has thrown up things that are just nothing like what we have booked. So let's do the United States Championship match first. Let's just change the participants. Apparently this is gonna be an Iron Man match, so I'll just work with it. Let's see, where's our truth? Oh, hang on, I was gonna be CM Punk. Yeah, that's more like it. And now let's pick our truth. Right. And because it's a pay-per-view and because I feel like being nice, let's leave entrances on. And I'll see you guys after the entrances.
And now, WWE presents Over the Limit.
Is an Iron Man match and is for the United States Championship. Approaching the ring, the United States Champion, CM Punk.
The truth shall set you free.
And introducing the challenger from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing 235 pounds, R-Truth.
And there you have it, them's are the entrances, and I'm going to talk briefly about R-Truth. I just have to say that I think I really am enjoying his gimmick, and the reason why I enjoy his gimmick is just because it has been consistent. And what I've noticed with a lot of other WWE superstars is, once they've had a little break and they come back, sometimes their gimmick changes completely, or it evolves to a completely other stage. Whereas R-Truth's gimmick, it hasn't really changed that much, which is good. It's just what he's done, he's flipped it to the other side, and this is a 15-minute Iron Man match, as said. He flipped it to the other side, and now he's working as a face, kind of like CM Punk, oddly enough, when he was working his straight edge gimmick. And I know technically he still is, but now it's more, he's the best in the world, rather than he's straight edge, even though him being straight edge is a big part of that. But, basically, R-Truth has got the same gimmick, but he's just flipped it so it caters to the fans, as opposed to being against the fans, So when he says "don't whoop me," it's actually endearing to the fans. And the same with the Little Jimmy. You know, before Little Jimmy was a disparaging remark, and now it's a term of endearment, you know, or at least it's become a term of endearment anyway, you know, which is what's needed. And the other guy who I'd like to talk about, seeing as I'm talking about gimmicks and the evolution of gimmicks, and how sometimes, you know, you don't really need a drastic change, or it just needs to be a logical change in your gimmick, would be Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, in my opinion, is a guy whose gimmick change was logical. You know, it wasn't something that made no sense. As soon as the mask came off, you know, there had to be something about him being free of the mask, and that's what it was. It was a logical step in evolution of his gimmick, which is what I like most about it. You know, whereas a lot of other gimmicks that guys have, you don't really see that kind of natural flow and evolution. I suppose one guy in particular would be Brodus Clay, although I do have to say I do like Brodus Clay's gimmick. It's getting over with me because it's the reason why I like it is because it's totally not what I expected it was going to be. And on top of that, you know, I think the fans are beginning to warm to it as well, which is always important. The fans are warming to it, even though at first I think a lot of fans were is this you know, this wasn't the Brodus Clay we expected. But I think it was a great move on the part of creative, because, you know, they knew what a lot of fans were expecting, and to give them something not necessarily the complete opposite, but something totally different, you know, it shows the fans that creative do care. They do care about the fans, because I know a lot of fans are probably thinking, oh, you know, WWE is getting stale, it's getting boring, they hardly ever do anything new, there's no real reason for me to watch it, so on and so forth, you know. But with this, Brodus Clay, the way that he's turned and come back as a face, and such an interesting face at that, you know, it gives fans a reason to tune in, which is good, you know, and what you aim for when you know, you go and give a guy a new gimmick, you know, it's what you want. So they've done really well with that, and R-Truth is doing really well. I just hope that R-Truth gets the kind of push that he deserves, in my opinion. You know, this guy was a former TNA champion, and I do think, you know, even if it's just as a transitional champion, I do think that he has enough in terms of his in-ring ability, in terms of his mic skills, in terms of his look and his popularity. He has enough to be a champion. I honestly, I do see him as a champion. I think it will be short term. To be honest, I don't think it will work any other way. Damn it, he's reversed my finisher. Like I say, I do think it'll be short term. I don't think it'll be something that you know, he won't be a champion to go and reign for months on end, like for example CM Punk. CM Punk will be the kind of champion to reign for months on end, as he is all about bringing about change to the WWE in that respect, and ending the hot potato effect for the championships. So you know, I have no qualms with that, but I do believe wholeheartedly that R-Truth has enough about him and in his locker to be a world champion. And on top of that, I think he deserves it. You know, this is like his what, second stint with the WWE, you know, and this is a guy that's paid his dues, and he's done what's needed to be done, and he's been, for the most part, relatively successful with all of the things that they've asked him to do and that he's needed to do. So I don't see any particular reason why they shouldn't give him a title run. you know, and he was recently in the main event, and I think he held his own. I honestly believe that. I believe he held his own alongside The Miz. I just think that the thing that let them both down, in my opinion, was how they were booked. The booking was what let them down, nothing else. You know, I think that both of them would have benefited from looking stronger in their feud with The Rock and John Cena, but you know, it's one of those things. Like, I was thinking about this the other day, and if they were booked stronger, they could still be main eventing now. They could be John Cena's feud now, building into the feud with The Rock as opposed to Kane. They could be the reason why John Cena has to embrace the hate, for example. But you know, those are my views, and as I say, I do honestly believe those. But you know, the creative have taken a different direction, and it's a direction I'm enjoying. I mean, do I really think that Kane should be the one to help John Cena embrace the hate? Do I think that he should be the one to point out to John Cena that the fans are saying Cena sucks? No, I don't. I really don't believe that. I think Kane should just be a monster. Thank you and good night. You know, nothing else. You know, but the mere fact that he's there, you know, I think that they had him talk a bit too early. In my opinion, I wouldn't have had him talk so early, but you know, again, my opinion, I would have just had him destroy people. You know, the same way that Brodus Clay was going to potentially be booked is how I would book Kane. You know, just totally coming in, destroying people, and then, you know, somebody, maybe even Super Cena, I don't know, depending on if he turns heel, but somebody with enough babyface force behind him, even if, you know, in the end it turns out that they would need a little help along the way or whatever, but someone would come along and stop Kane. You know, something would come along and stop Kane eventually. You know, if I was looking at it. But you know, right now I look at the feud and I think to myself, right, okay, I know that Kane's in it. He's gonna face John Cena at the Rumble. But I can't help but think, right, okay, so what happens to Kane after the Rumble? You know, when it hits WrestleMania time, who's he transitioning on to next? Because it's not going to be Zack Ryder. It's not Zack Ryder, so who's it going to be? Because Zack Ryder's going to be tied up chasing the US title. Because I think if everybody's brutally honest, Zack Ryder was much better as a contender chasing the title than he is a champion. As a champion, he's a little bit boring, he's a little bit stale, and on top of that, like, I just think after he won the title, and it's not entirely his fault, it's just how things planned out. After he had won the title, his momentum just fizzled out. Don't ask me why, because I don't know, but I think when he won the title, fans were just like, right, okay, now what? You know, and that was kind of how it was. It wasn't really, they weren't as excited to see him as champion than they were to see him as a challenger. So it's interesting. That's what I'll say about it. It's definitely interesting, and I think that you know, they need to do more with Zack Ryder. There's no two ways about that. More needs to be done with him. They need to flesh out his character a little bit, because right now, you know, he's emasculated for me, and it's not a good look. There's no reason why a champion should be so emasculated. You know, I know that it's for ratings that they've stuck him with Eve, and they've got this whole potential love story, or they're dating or whatever. But I think that, you know, they probably shoved them two together a bit too quickly. You know, it was a bit too simple in terms of the story. You know, it was kind of just like, oh, you know, we should go out and I'll ask you, and then you'll say yes. And it's just like, wow, like really, that quickly? And that was it. It really was. It really was that quick. That was all that there was to it. So, you know, I just think there needed to be more. Needed to be a lot more, and they just didn't deliver. They didn't deliver in that sense. You know, I think there was more that could have been done in terms of developing that. So when Eve does come down to the ring with him, or you see the two of them backstage together, it means a lot more. Whereas now it's just kind of like, oh, okay, they're together, and you're kind of thinking, right, okay, when's this going to be over? You know, you're not thinking, oh, you know, this is really, really good, and like, it's been ages, and they're finally together, and, you know, all of that soap opera bullshit that you normally would feel. You don't feel any of that. You're just like, oh, you know. But it's strange, because I feel like the Raw creative team, whoever they are, they need to exchange some ideas with the SmackDown creative team, because the SmackDown creative, you know, they know what they're doing. They built things a lot more solidly and consistently than Raw has, which is really disappointing when I think about it. You know, because Raw is technically supposed to be the A show, SmackDown is supposed to be the B show. But if you watch both shows and you're a fan of wrestling and good storylines, you know, SmackDown, for me, is undeniably the better show. You know, and I just think that in terms of the quality, Raw really needs to step it up. You know, because their writing is weak, it's got holes in it, and, you know, compared to SmackDown, it's nowhere near as entertaining. For me, I don't know how you guys feel, but I tell you what, why don't you guys leave that in the comments below? What show do you think is a better show out of Raw and SmackDown? So leave that in the comments as to what show you think is better. Because as I say, I really believe that, you know, in terms of the quality of the writing, SmackDown miles ahead of Raw. And really, you know, seeing as Raw's the A show, I think Raw should have, Raw should have a lot better writing than what it currently has. You know, but it's just the way things are at the moment in the WWE in terms of creative. And there's a lot of guys that, you know, are being underused. Like I personally figured that when R-Truth came back to come after The Miz, you know, I thought that they, you know, they could drag that out a hell of a lot more. And on top of that, right, with this whole thing about when R-Truth says it's going to be every week, why hasn't it been every week? You know, that's what I want to know. Because it should be every week. You've said it's going to be every week. You're crazy, you know. So if it was every week, for me, that would be more believable, because you said it would be. But it's one of those things. And there's the end of the Iron Man match, and, well, I kind of obliterated R-Truth. I probably should have let the computer handle it and do CPU, but it's one of those things. Let's get back out of this and move on to our next match. yeah, CM Punk successfully retains the United States title against R-Truth. Let's see, what's next on the card? Right, the World Tag Team title match. I'm going to change the participants because I'm going to play Demolition as well. It's going to be Air Boom. Air Boom are going to face Demolition. And that's it. So, entrance is on again. It's a ladder match this time. Interesting. Totally didn't realise that up until the last second it's a ladder match. So, once again, I'm going to leave you guys for the entrances, and I'll be back when they're done.
Is a ladder match and is for the World Tag Team Championship. Approaching the ring at a combined weight of 584 pounds, they are the World Tag Team Champions, Axe and Snatch Demolition. Introducing the challengers, Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne, the Boom Squad.
So there's the entrances, and this one's a bit of a fantasy match actually for me. Not in the sense of I would really want to see Air Boom take on Demolition, not at all, because to be honest with you, I wouldn't be very high on that match at all. But the reason why I would like to see this match is because of the gimmick involved, and in their time as a tag team, Axe and Smash's Demolition, I don't believe that they ever took part in a ladder match or a gimmick match of any sort, as far as I can remember. It was just, you know, it was back in the early 90s and in the 80s, it was just straight up tag matches. So I think it would have been interesting to see how Demolition would go about it. You know, what would their style be in a ladder match? Now, I get the feeling that they would just probably, you know, go and beat the holy hell out of people. I don't know what happened there with me climbing up the ladder. Yeah, they'd still beat the bejesus out of people, no two ways about that. But I just think that with their style combined with a ladder, that it would make for some interesting possibilities. You know, like for example, them versus them versus the Road Warriors in a ladder match would be quite interesting, I feel. You know, that would be quite different, because I know the Road Warriors, they did scaffold matches, but I know that they didn't do a ladder match. So what would they be like in a ladder match as well? So there you go, something for this section to put in the comments. What teams
Kofi into the headlock.
current or legendary, that you haven't seen in a ladder match, would you like to see take part in a ladder match, and why? Yeah, so there you go. I think that's plenty of food for thought for you with that one. But let me know, who would you want? Which tag teams would you want to see, current or legendary, that you wouldn't mind seeing in a ladder match?
With a massive clubbing shot.
And damn it,
Using that ladder like a tag team partner.
just knocked the ladder over.
And the pain has to be
So
shooting.
not cool.
Here we go.
And Evan Bourne's just tapped out.
I guess he wants to try something else.
I don't know what more you'd want to do to another man. And he's
Oh
going
no,
for
I
that
killed
ladder.
Smash as well. I didn't mean to.
What a shot
Sorry,
from the
Smash.
ladder. That can cut you, break your bones. Simply put, permanent damage.
I only meant to hit Kofi.
Championship on the line.
And again, the ladder comes into play.
Damn it,
Ladder
didn't
and
need to put it
flex
there.
both appear
Let's
in
move
worse
it
condition.
You gotta be kidding me.
and try
He's still
again.
not through. And he's not done with that
That's
ladder
about
yet.
Oh no.
Going up the ladder again.
Damn it.
Please be careful.
And I knew that was going to happen. I was trying to get back down. The only problem is I haven't played that many
Again.
ladder matches in the game to actually know how once you climb up the ladder you get back down again. Because you don't get put in many ladder matches in Universe mode. And even though I did play the one in Triple H's Road to WrestleMania,
I wonder sometimes if even Kofi knows what he's going to do next. Or
you know, as I say, in terms of
happen out of instinct.
I'll go with the instinct.
Universe mode,
Oh, removed from the ladder in
there's
the most
not
physical
that
fashion.
many of them, so as I say, I lack experience in it.
Taken. Bodies have crashed and burned. And still that
And
prize
oddly
dangles
enough,
high above
as well,
the ring.
I prefer to
He's still not
put a bunch
through.
of guys
Evan with a great counter.
that I think would be really good in a ladder match, and watch it
That smack,
to see who would win,
flesh on that ladder.
as opposed to playing the whole thing through myself
So fired up
and
in that ring.
trying to win.
With the championship at stake, you
So,
know these superstars
as I say,
will
not
give
much
everything they have
experience
to win here tonight.
With the old ladder match, and don't know how to climb back down once I've gone up
Hey, he's
the
going
ladder.
for it again.
Atomic drop.
So
He
if
is
anybody
just
knows how to
punished in
jump
this
back down the ladder, let me know. Leave it in the
What
comments.
a move. What a smart move.
And there's another
I'm curious.
double-fisted shot from Axe. Kofi from behind.
Trouble in Paradise. Oh, I thought he's done my finisher for a second, but no, I still got it. And now he's gonna get it. You should tap. Evan Bourne is in a much worse condition.
What a move by the champ.
Heading back to the top. Axes, and would you look at
Get
this?
the hell
Just
down.
blasting each other high above the ground.
This is a grueling championship match. Nobody wants to lose this opportunity. Oh, no. Hard shot.
Let's try
Nasty
and go
landing.
for it again.
Smash isn't exactly multi-dimensional.
No,
As his
no,
name
no.
implies, he likes to go right after his opponents
So,
with clubbing
do that
shots.
instead and miss. Wow,
brutal slam.
that was a whole lot of fail. I just thought, you know what? Seeing as I'm so far away, without realizing I'm so far away, I'm just gonna jump off
Looking to do more damage with that object.
with a diving
Good
attack
grief, tremendous impact with that
from
ladder.
off the top of the
Just
ladder,
lethal
and
with that
wow,
thing.
these guys aren't
The prize
dead
hanging 20
yet.
feet above the ring. Who has what it takes to bring it down?
Gonna throw Evan Bourne out, and that should put him on the floor. He should be down for a little while, or not, as the case may be. Get out. He got down off the apron. He was smart and roll Irish whip into the ladder. I do like the fact that that automatically sends you into a stun state. That's pretty good.
I have a feeling
broke
under
his
normal
sorry.
circumstances,
To be
we would have seen a pinfall by now.
we'll
But
correct
this one
about
isn't
it.
about pinfalls. Going up the ladder again.
Nah, get down here. Damn it.
What a
Smash, he's climbing up.
heading back up the ladder.
Stop him. There you go.
He almost got that thing down.
So, now I want to climb up. Let me do
With his
it.
strength alone,
There we go.
Smash can manhandle most people.
No, can't reach out for that. So instead,
Don't slip.
Both competitors
just
up
going
on
to
the
push
ladder.
you off.
There's not enough room for both of them.
A big fall.
And
all
again,
the air might be driven out.
Don't know. Oh, damn, I missed. Don't know how to climb back down.
This is a no disqualification
I really
match.
wish I did know.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see
Picked
that?
up the wrong ladder, but anyway, smack Evan Bourne in his
Lord,
head.
he's just hell-bent on naming his
Probably
opponent.
trying to change some sense for smoking that
That's debatable.
Mary Jane. And
You can't just go around hitting people like that and think you
let's
can
go up
get
the
away
ladder.
with it.
You can in this
Yeah, why
match.
don't we both go? That'll do it.
He's going back
Get
up.
it, Smash. There we go.
He's got the
Smash
title.
got it. We
He's got the
retain.
title.
Demolition is still
Smash wins.
your World Tag Team Champions. So there you go. Demolition in a completely unfamiliar match. Do alright.
Here are your winners and still World Tag Team Champions.
Come out of that. Let's see what's next on the card. Okay. So we've had our United States Championship match, which is an Iron Man match. We had a ladder match for the World Tag Team Championships, and this is gonna be a table match. So let's change participants. I'm not gonna be Brock. I'm going to be. Where is he? Where are you? You Scotsman, you sinister Scotsman, you. Why can't I see you? Have I gone blind? There he is. Sinister Scotsman against Brock Lesnar. Yes, it's a title match. Let's do it. Entrance is on, and I will be back after the entrances.
The following contest is a tables match. The only way to win this bout is to place your opponent through a table and is for the Intercontinental Championship. Approaching the ring, the Intercontinental Champion, Brock Lesnar. And introducing the challenger from Ayr, Scotland, weighing 256 pounds, Drew McIntyre.
So them's the entrances, and I suppose now I want to talk a bit more about Drew McIntyre. And I'm a fan of Drew McIntyre because I think he has the look, he's got the in-ring ability, and you know, given the storyline that he was handpicked by Vince McMahon and he would become a future WWE champion, I just feel that he, after this storyline of him losing, something big needs to happen with him and his character. Something massive. Because without it, I don't really see there being any way back for his character other than, you know, he goes away for a little while and then he comes back, and he comes back as a badass. There's absolutely nothing else that could possibly happen or that they could possibly do that would help him, because right now this losing streak, I'm intrigued to see where they're going to take it. That's the truth. I really am intrigued, because I just feel like you know, one, not that he shouldn't be on the losing streak. I think the losing streak is an interesting idea, but really his destiny lies as a solid mid-card, upper mid-card talent. You know, could he one day be a main eventer? I think in the right circumstances, with the right storyline build, possibly. You know, I wouldn't rule it out for him, you know, especially if, for example, you know, he gets an authority figure to help him to achieve that, like I mentioned during this match at Extreme Rules. You know, so I really just believe that it needs that little something extra. He needs that little something extra, and without it, he will suffer. And I think right now, to be perfectly frank and earnest with you, he is suffering just a little bit. You know, he needs a bit more help, in my opinion, because right now this losing streak, he's not putting anyone specific over with it. You know, like I know that they wanted to give Santino a little bit of rub, which makes sense, because, you know, he's another guy that I honestly think he could be, you know, a solid mid-card, upper mid-card guy, rather than a comedy jobber and opener, and the guy that, to be honest with you, a lot of people really just don't care that much about. I see Santino as a guy who could hold a title again legitimately, you know, especially if they made his character more serious, and that's what Santino's missing, a more serious element to his character. Right now he's too fun-loving, he likes the fans too much, and it's difficult to take him seriously. So I would personally probably have him change to being a heel at some point, if we are going to build his character seriously, and have him, you know, just really just wrestle, as opposed to doing a whole lot of crap to, you know, please the fans. Because the funny thing about Santino is he's a very, very, very good wrestler. The problem is they don't let him actually wrestle. His character doesn't wrestle that much, and I also think that, you know, realistically, this is a big problem with the WWE as a whole. You know, they're a wrestling company. Yes, they are sports entertainment technically, but sports entertainment, right, has its roots in pro wrestling, which means when you watch a sports entertainment show, there has to be some wrestling in there somewhere. For example, they can't have a show without wrestling, which is what I'm really trying to get at. So what they should do, you know, when they do have the wrestling, is let the guys actually wrestle. You know, and stop with all the stop with so much comedy. Stop with so much silly storylines, you know, and give people something that they can really sink their teeth into. Like, for example, the whole Jinder Mahal and Ted DiBiase thing. I think everybody was kind of seeing, as fans, that it was a load of crap, and the interest in it burnt out really fast, and that's why both guys got moved on to other feuds. So at the moment you have Ted DiBiase feuding with Hunico, and Jinder Mahal is kind of feuding with Sheamus, you know, and I see the Jinder Mahal Sheamus thing being quite interesting, and I also see the Hunico Ted DiBiase thing being quite interesting. And the reason why I see the Ted DiBiase and Hunico thing being quite interesting is just because when you look at the base reason that was given for them having this feud, it was to do with Hunico not being invited to a DiBiase posse party, right? Which actually makes a lot of sense when you think, you know, the WWE and Ted DiBiase are actually trying to push the DiBiase posse and the parties as being quite important. And there you go, Drew McIntyre has won back his Intercontinental title from Brock Lesnar. So obviously Brock Lesnar will have a rematch clause, and he can invoke that when he sees fit. But there you have it, Drew McIntyre is your new Intercontinental champion. And that's one thing I don't like about tables matches in this game, and I have to be brutally honest. Like, I won that match with a strong Irish whip. A strong Irish whip should never for me it's not enough, put it that way. Let's customize this freely, because this is going to be a one-on-one normal match, because it's Divas don't do hardcore. And let's pick me some Divas. Natalya, title match, yeah, we're ready. And Kelly, no, it's not Kelly, it's Michelle McCool, who is the #1 contender. Again, entrance is on, and I will continue my rant after the entrances.
This contest is for the Divas Championship. Approaching the ring from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, she is the Divas Champion, Natalya. The challenger from Cabana, Florida, McCool.
But I think I finally figured it out that you're the type of man I like to call the styles. Alter on hot, cold again, but please let me assure you that this is the end of all the lonely nights in the between. Cause I think you forgot that you is me. I never lost my touch.
So them's the entrances, and while I went away to get a drink during the entrances, you know, my mind has gone completely blank, and I've forgotten my rant, which is really, really bad of me. But I suppose I can always jump into another one, and I've been ranting the last 2-3 videos about women's wrestling and the WWE not taking women's wrestling seriously, and women's wrestling not being taken seriously as a whole. And you know, I don't see it being helped in any way. You know, I think one of... Wait, hang on a minute, there's 2 twins in the crowd. There's... The main problem was all of the TNA type match types that the Divas were in, right? And I'm not saying I have a problem with the Divas being in the TNA type matches, because to be honest with you, being brutally honest, as a wrestling fan, that's solid fat material. But having said that, in terms of putting these women over as legitimate wrestlers, it doesn't help. You know, and what they really need is to be portrayed, as I say, and as I keep saying, as wrestlers. So what you'd actually need is, say for example, the top heel to always come out and interrupt those sorts of segments. You know, kind of like how Pin Up Strong is. You know, I like the idea of Pin Up Strong. Pin Up Strong makes a lot of sense to me, as opposed to quote unquote Barbies. You know, and that's what you need, because if you're a serious women's wrestler, with the emphasis on wrestler, of course, you know, you don't do that sort of stuff. You come in the ring and you beat people up. You know, that's what you do. You're not worried about your next photo shoot with Playboy or whoever. You know, you're worried about being the best wrestler in the company. You're worried about being the champ. That's what you're worried about. Everything else becomes secondary, unless of course they're in an established relationship, or you know, they happen to be in a sort of managerial role and they're worried about their clients and so on and so forth. You know, but if they're not, then, you know, and they're wrestling and they're being treated as a serious wrestler, then, you know, all of that TNA stuff, you need to get rid of it, because it doesn't work. It doesn't help. It doesn't help solidify them as serious wrestlers. It kind of makes them look like they're part-time. That's what it does. It makes them look part-time, makes them look amateur, and it doesn't help. So, you know, yeah, in order for women's wrestling to be taken more seriously, it just needs to be taken more seriously. And that's that. You know, if you don't take it seriously, no one else will. So that's my bit of advice to WWE creative. Take women's wrestling seriously. Build a division back up, because I honestly believe that the quality that you have there isn't that bad. It's actually pretty solid. So I say, why not? Why not? You know, you can go and get a whole nother generation of women who are interested in wrestling, watching wrestling for the women, not just for the guys. You know, and I think if done correctly and you have the right level of talent, which I think WWE do in certain places, not throughout the division, but certainly in certain places, you know, they can put on just as good a match as the guys. Probably not as long, to to be fair, but in terms of quality, could it be there? I honestly believe that. And there you see Natalya retain the the Divas Championship from Michelle McCool, proving that Michelle McCool beating her on SmackDown was just a blip, a bit of a fluke. So let's move on to our next match. So we've had our Divas title defended and retained, tag titles defended and retained, an Intercontinental title changed hands, and the United States Championship was defended and retained. Last man standing match. Well, that's not the match that we're gonna have. So let's edit this, customize freely. We're just gonna make it a traditional one-on-one, and it's gonna be Triple H defending his title. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna be a fan. I'm not gonna play this. I want to see what the computer decides should be the right decision. So I'm not going to play, just going to sit back. I'm going to let the computer decide. Going to leave the entrances on. I'm going to be a fan just like you guys. And we're going to see who walks away from vengeance with the World Heavyweight title. And I'll be back after the entrances.
This bout set for one fall is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing the challenger,
Colt.
and his opponent from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing 255 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, The Game. Triple H!
And that's what it's all about. That's the prize they're going after right there.
And look at that, everybody is on their feet for this one. Really looking forward to it. I'm interested to see what happens. So I'm going to sit back, I'm going to be a fan and just watch. I do like how the game is, and I mean WWE 12, not Triple H. I do like how the game has built this up over the last few weeks. Especially with me starting in Colt Cabana into the #1 contendership slot after Colt Cabana came out, screwed over Triple H in his match. But you know, it's going to be interesting to see because both of these guys have a lot of momentum. Triple H might have ever so slightly less because of his loss to Husky Harris, which was also interesting because, you know, even though I really wanted to win that match, I didn't mean to lose it. What that loss also did was legitimize Husky Harris. You know, you probably would have thought, oh, it's a shame. It's a shame that you know, Husky Harris somehow managed to get into the #1 contendership and be a viable challenger. Yes, you know, when I played with Triple H at Extreme Rules, I did beat him soundly. But the loss on Raw, you know, in case you were thinking that Husky Harris wasn't a viable contender, the loss on Raw puts him right back in the driving seat, puts him right back in contention, because realistically he's beaten the champion, so why can't he get a rematch? No reason for him not to get a rematch. And then of course, as I say, Colt Cabana, the legitimate #1 contender, and he's here facing Triple H. He's been on a bit of a roll. Him and CM Punk have realigned, reforming the Second City Saints. They were impressive in tag team action in the last 2 weeks, picking up victories in both matches. So this one will be really interesting. And so far, you know, Triple H started this one out pretty hot, and now Colt Cabana, he's starting to gain a bit of momentum, a bit of traction, and take over in this one. And as I pointed out, fans in the first 3-4 rows and even further back, you know, everybody is on their feet. Okay, maybe a couple of people in the front row probably just sat down. Yeah, the guy in the CM Punk shirt, he just sat down just to be annoying. But the majority of the fans, there's one guy in a Rey Mysterio shirt just randomly waving. The majority of the fans are stood up and on their feet for this one. And as I say, now what we're seeing is Colt Cabana taking advantage. But now the momentum shifted again. Triple H coming back with those big right hands. They see the art of wrestling that Colt Cabana does display, with that counter into a single arm DDT. And it's a really even match. And this was part, as I say, this was part of the reason why I didn't want to play this one. Triple H, pedigree, here it comes. Out of nowhere, Triple H hits the pedigree. And Colt Cabana kicks out. I think it was at 2. Out of nowhere, Triple H hit the pedigree. Really wasn't expecting that. But Colt Cabana shows he's a worthy contender, kicking out. And the match continues. So you guys can put your money down and tell me, who do you think is going to win this one? Really even, I've got no idea. I thought maybe Triple H had it won. with the pedigree, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't so. It's Colt Cabana. He kicked out, so I really wonder where this one's going. Triple H now is kind of in the driving seat since the pedigree, even though Colt Cabana has had smatterings of offense here and there. And there you see another reversal, another single arm DDT from Colt Cabana. And I'm just wondering if he hits the Colt 45, is this one over? Or if Triple H hits another pedigree, as we almost failed to pay our electric bill. If Triple H hits another pedigree, is it over?
And he kicks out. Championship on the line.
To a DDT. There's another kick out from Colt Cabana, so there he is showing real heart, real desire to be in there with Triple H.
Watch it.
Irish whip by Triple H.
In the ropes, and that may have been the only escape. Oh, that elbow's gotta hurt.
Big chop from Colt on the forearm. Nice arm wringer.
Intercepted.
Big chop forearm again. And for another chop, Triple H counter side headlock. Big back breaker. Elbow drop. It's really difficult to tell who's got the momentum in this because it's shifted, and there's a big clothesline from Colt. And he counters Triple H's attempt to clothesline into a drop toe hold. DDT from Colt.
Looking to put him away. Oh, now can the superstar capitalize?
It's the elbow, bionic elbows.
He's setting up.
And Colt Cabana has Triple H right where he wants him.
Whoa, whoa.
Triple H is up, he's groggy.
Man, there's no getting up from that.
Oh, brainbuster.
Hooking the leg.
Is he gonna go for the pin? Yes.
And Triple H refuses to stay down. Triple H has such
And
a
Triple H
drive,
kicks out.
such a relentless will to succeed.
And I really don't know what's gonna happen in this one now. It has been
Watch out here. Right to the kisser.
really even so far. Chop block by Triple H. And now he's just pounding away at Colt Cabana. Delivering punches to the face. Big time double A spine buster. And now Triple H maybe signaling he's putting this one away. No, Colt Cabana, he counters. What's going to happen here? Side headlock. Suplex. Triple H counters. Everybody is on their feet.
And I mean nobody better in the WWE than that man right there. Triple H.
Backbreaker again by Triple H. Working the back. Colt Cabana.
Listen to that chop echo throughout the arena. I don't think so.
Irish whip into the corner. Big chop. Ric Flair is in the building. Countered by Colt. He goes for a chop. Triple H counters. Another arm wringer by Colt. Kick to the back as well. And the elbow drop to the back. Colt holding his head.
1, 2.
Swinging neck breaker. Triple H. Is he going to go for a pin? Yes. It seems to be quite cheap.
Oh no!
But Colt kicks out again. Kick to the gut. Side headlock from Colt.
What's the game gonna do here?
Side headlock takeover. Takeover takedown even. Triple H counters. Is he going to go for
Not this.
diving reverse DDT? Even though I've never seen him do that move. But big punches to the head from Triple H. Is he going to go for big time double A spine buster again? Second one of the match. And Triple H is calling for a pedigree. Colt reverses. Colt 45. Who is it? Pedigree. No, it's Colt 45. He hits it. Colt Cabana hits the Colt 45. Rolls him over. He's going to go for a rope break. Colt, you should have moved him. You should have dragged him away from the ropes. Put him in the center of the ring. Gone for your pin. That would have been it over. You would have been the new World Heavyweight Champion. Triple H counters. Big punches.
Submission holds locked in, and he's in big trouble.
But Colt reverses his DDT attempt into a Russian leg sweep. And now it's a camel clutch.
He drops the elbow.
Can Triple H get out of it? Yes, he's going to power his way out.
Oh, clothesline.
Elbow drop.
Triple H just teeing off.
Big chop from Colt. Massive clothesline from Triple H.
See the way his head planted into the floor off that pile driver? He is just
Triple H laying in with big punches. Pile driver right on the head. Is he going to go for a pin? No. Big time double A spine buster again. It's the third one. And Triple H is once again calling for the pedigree. Will he hit it? There's a double underhook. Pedigree.
And Triple H retains the championship.
Is he going to go for the pin? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Triple H is your winner. And what a match between Triple H and Colt Cabana. You have to believe that if Colt Cabana had put Triple H, after he hit the Colt 45, if he had dragged Triple H away from the ropes and pinned Triple H, he could have won the World Heavyweight title. But nonetheless, Triple H retains and is still World Heavyweight Champion. And it looks like something's going to happen after this one. Can't get to the rematch menu just yet, so we're going to have to wait and see what that is. There you see, there you have it. Triple H retaining the World Heavyweight title against Colt Cabana in what was an absolutely fantastic match. It didn't disappoint.
Oh my gosh, the champ just got laid out.
And here comes CM Punk. And CM Punk lays out Triple H. He's got the World Heavyweight title. Cleans his clock with it. And what does this mean? Does CM Punk, the United States champion, want to face Triple H? Now, is he going to be asking for a title shot, champion versus champion? I don't know. I really don't know. But that was a fantastic match between Triple H and Colt Cabana. Absolutely amazing. And after the match, CM Punk comes out and lays out Triple H. So Second City Saints far from done with Triple H. But now it's time for Brad Thomas to defend his WWE title against Rey Mysterio. And what is this? A last man standing match? No. No, let's come out of that. Let's customize this freely. We'll make it a normal one-on-one match. Titles on the line. And we'll defend it against Rey Mysterio. Alrighty, so entrances on as always for pay-per-views. We're going to get into this one, and I'm going to leave you guys for the entrances.
contest is for the WWE Championship. Approaching the ring from London, England, the WWE Champion, the Savior, Matt Thomas. The challenger from San Diego, California, weighing 175 pounds, Rey Mysterio.
The ref's calling for the match to start, and here we... Oh, no! The ref gets absolutely... The referee's been turned
the hell?
inside
The
out
ref
with
is
a
down.
huge clothesline. Well, I think it was an accident.
I wonder what this is going to be made of. Is someone going to come down, or is it just going to be that, you know, the referee gets taken out early on?
Was delivered with tremendous aggression. And this match is now officially underway.
And the referee was just down early on. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. Big time counter by Rey.
Look at this! Look at this!
And there's another big time counter. Those educated feet. Brad Thomas.
That suplex was
Big time swinging net breaker as well.
That's how you do it. Oh no! Talk about planning your opponent. We're going to see a lot of effective moves like that in this match.
Fisherman suplex.
A powerful belly-to-belly suplex.
Backdrop suplex.
Here's a counter by Rey.
Belly-to-belly suplex.
Controlling the waist. And Savior was just a bit quicker.
Big counters by Rey. The elbows.
Watch it.
And the bow behind. And Brad Thomas is equal to that. And big bulldog.
Watch it. Oh man, that was a sick
Another
thud when
backdrop.
he hit the
I'm not
concrete.
going for the pin this time.
He rolled the dice. And did it pay off or what? What makes a man even want to take a
On the
gamble like
apron
that,
down
King?
to the floor.
How should I know? I'm scared of heights.
Oh my goodness, Hurricane Rana
And a huge
off the
collision
top
with the
down onto the
barricade.
floor.
Mysterio squeezing down on the head. Oh my, what a jawbreaker!
Jawbreaker.
Good reversal by Rey.
Big elbows from Rey.
Not fast enough. Uh-oh.
Both men get into the ring.
King, what does Rey
Clothesline
need to
by
do here?
Mile.
Right now, his speed's been neutralized. So what he has to do is figure out a way to pick up the pace. Hey!
Neck breaker. Big time bulldog out the corner.
Rey going for some big impact.
triangle
And Mysterio's quickness gets him
hold
out.
there, and the forearm smash. Big back elbow from Ray.
And he gets to the ropes.
Good counter with the dragon leg screw.
You want to talk about strategy? I figure the strategy for Ray
Snap
is to keep
mare
this
into a
match
chin lock.
fast-paced. The longer this match goes, the more likely Ray will get himself into trouble.
And a
Boy,
chop
when
block
Mysterio gets going like this, he's
from
nearly
Ray as well.
impossible to
As
catch.
he now tries to build some momentum in this one.
Bad.
Another dragon screw leg whip. As Brad Thomas now tries to work over the legs of Rey Mysterio.
Big move coming.
Big time reversal by Ray.
Counter by Mysterio. Mysterio's got him.
Ray just wasn't close enough, and that's a big drop kick out on the floor. Counter by Ray. Irish whip back into the ring. Thought Ray was going to climb in then. He didn't. Big time T-bone. Reversal by Ray. Big kick into the gut. Another counter by Ray. His counter countered. Ray counters again to go behind. Irish whip.
Look at this. Look at this.
Another dragon leg screw.
Stuffed again.
And really starting to focus in on the legs
Weight on that leg drop.
of Rey Mysterio. And now the arm. That arm lock.
Uh-oh. It might be time to run.
What is spinning wheel kick counter?
The damage has
by
definitely
Ray.
been done. Now it may just be a matter of time.
Oh, step up kick. And Brad Thomas.
What a move.
Off the
Battle of
ropes.
ring. You can practically see
Rey
the
Mysterio
pain in his
counters.
face right now. Thanks to that
Irish whip to the
tremendous
corner.
move off the ropes.
And here goes.
Mysterio going for the cover.
Whoa, big time bulldog, and Ray's right back in this one.
That's not good.
He's going for the pin. And that's a big kick out at 2
Oh no!
for
And
Brad
there's the
Thomas.
belly-to-belly
Big
suplex.
enziguri. And again, working the leg of Rey Mysterio. Capture suplex. No, the leg lock.
Mysterio takes him down, and look where we're at again. 619.
Big counter by
Mysterio
Ray.
railed him.
Big forearm.
Tremendous damage.
Could it
right
be?
to the arm. Rey Mysterio is a walking example
Yes,
of why
619.
size should athletic success. Ray is living proof that anyone can achieve
And a
greatness if they
splash.
work hard enough.
He knows better than to go for the pin because we're in the ropes. We were in the ropes all day.
A tight hold here. Does he have just a dominating
Normally
display?
you would have gone straight for the pin, but we were in the ropes all day.
Punishment inflicted here.
And that is a big knee.
Caught the leg. Wow.
Texas Cloverleaf.
Great reversal by Savior.
But Ray's not weak enough. He's not going to tap out to that. Counter by Ray in the corner. And then another dragon leg screw. Now working the arm.
Mysterio gets dropped.
Rey Mysterio going back to the legs, and here's another leg lock.
He's changed places.
Really trying to wear down the legs. And I think now
I think it's
we're beginning to see The legwork starting to pay off for Brad Thomas.
You can see him struggling
T-bone.
to stand after quickly into the cover with the title on the line. 2, 3.
Big counter by Ray.
Is the new champion.
Big drop kick in the back. And Ray's won it with a drop kick. What the hell? Oh! I should have used my resiliency once again. It's me trying to save it, trying to kick out. And Rey Mysterio wins the WWE title with a drop kick. I'm so disappointed in myself. It's unreal. So disappointed. Should have got out the ring. And there's your new WWE Champion, Rey Mysterio. I'm in a state of shock, but you know, you have to give it to Rey. You have to give it to Brad Thomas. It was a very good match, and he's your new champ. So be sure to leave some comments. If you enjoyed the pay-per-view, leave a like. Subscribe for more WWE 12 goodness. And I'll see you on Monday Night Raw.